This war is ours.
Yes, I will see you through the smoking flames on the front.
When it comes to freedom and finances, men have these two things in common. One is wanting to achieve financial freedom in its highest caliber and peace of mind. In a consumer-driven economy where many people decide to blow money on useless things, it's always a good thing to want to prepare and plan for the future. With COVID-19 and the increasing government overreach, it's important to note that this year has taught us all, who have been fortunate enough to have been spared from the onslaught of bullshit regulations. Many people, not just here in America, but at least in half the world, have lost their jobs and are struggling to make ends meet. It's imperative that having a safety net is always reliable if and when you are ever laid off, or if you need to have extra repairs, like if your car breaks down or you need to have your roof reshingled. Being MGTOW frees a man from having to carry the parasite and the crotch goblin she spawns. You can retire earlier, you can increase your pot of gold, you can do a lot of things. This in turn allows you to help not only yourself, but if you are a single father that has sole custody of your children, this will help you provide for them while keeping a budget intact. When you achieve financial freedom, your mind will rest at ease. Living minimally and downsizing on unnecessary expenses is all par for the course. This is one of the many facets in your life where the red pill comes in handy. The majority of women are not able to save their money due to the need to go shopping and blow the man's hard-earned cash on useless items, like Louis Vuitton purses or Victoria's Secret lingerie. The simps suffer greatly, of course, because they have to blow thousands of dollars to keep their woman around. Dates, road trips, everything else I'll leave to your imagination. It's important to keep your finances in order. It's also equally as important to never splurge and all of a sudden you have buyer's remorse. This can really suck if you have anything from a store that has a strict no refund policy. Having little to no debt allows you to pay everything off and can greatly improve your credit. If you need to take out a loan, it's far easier to obtain it and you will never have to worry about it in the long run, as long as you pay your loans back on time. If you can do it earlier, you are in a better position. Not participating in the rat race known as the retail sale, like 75% off on that new plasma screen, saves you more in the long run. If you want to treat yourself, by all means, save some aside and go on a trip somewhere. It's important to spoil yourself every once in a while. It's your money and you more than deserve it. Again, don't make it too much of a habit. Look up stock investment. Maybe take the time to invest in something with a diversified portfolio. Here's a few tips below to help you get along if you are struggling and need ways to get you started. Visualize first, then plan. Anyone's vision of financial independence can probably use a reality check. Start by considering what your vision actually looks like, and then gather some qualified financial advice to set or reset your course. The path to financial independence may be considerably different at 20 than it is at age 50. The more time you have to save and invest generally produces a better outcome. But whatever age you are, start by getting a realistic picture of what options you have. Budget. Tracking your finances effectively starts with budgeting. The process of measuring income, subtracting expenses, and deciding how to divert the difference to your goals. It's the essential first task in achieving financial independence. Spend less than you earn. Most of us have certainly heard this rule, but it remains one of the toughest financial behaviors to execute. One rule of thumb is to put down 10 to 15% of your gross income in savings or investments every week, which includes employer match if it's available. Working couples might try to bank a substantial part of one's salary if possible. In any case, adhering to a lower standard of living and expenses will help anyone put more money into savings and investments sooner. Build smarter safety nets. Emergency funds and insurance are part of the financial planning picture, but they're rarely discussed in combination. The traditional definition of an emergency fund is a separate account for cash that can be used instead of credit in a sudden emergency like an unexpected car or appliance repair. But it might be wise to evaluate current deductibles on home, car, and health insurance to see if those amounts should be built into one's emergency fund. Many people keep deductibles fairly high to keep premiums low. When you have cash on hand to cover deductibles if you had a sudden claim, if not, put that money in reserve. The more effective you are at dealing with financial emergencies, the faster your savings and investments can grow. Eliminate debt. Through consumer debt levels have generally fallen since 2008 financial crisis, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York reported in February that home, student loan, auto, and credit card debt began creeping up again in 2014. Getting rid of revolving non-housing debt is one of the most effective things you can do to free up money to save and invest. Consider your career. Financial independence doesn't require you to quit a career you love, but you really can't get to financial independence without a steady income to fuel savings and investments that you will build over time. If you are behind in your financial goals, chances are you won't won't be able to quit working, at least for a while. You might even consider expanding your sources of work-related income, such as consulting part-time. Consider speaking with qualified financial and tax experts as you evaluate your current career income and benefits picture. Also keep in mind that over the age of 50, the IRS allows you to make catch-up contributions to both 401k and IRA accounts. Downsize. Whether you are age 20 or 50, financial independence requires a personal evaluation of what money, property, and items you need to live happily and securely. It might also help to stop any keeping up with the Joneses you've done in the past that's unduly influenced your spending. Generally, you'll get to your goal faster if you can cut your overall living expenses. For some, that means selling your home and moving to a smaller one or to an area with lower living costs and taxes. You can also sell or donate property you don't need and then use those proceedings to extinguish debt or add to savings and investments. Invest frugally. Become a student of investment fees and commissions. When you're able to add money to savings or investments, watch for fees, deadlines, or penalty rules. Washington took aim earlier this year on fees on 401k accounts, but make a full evaluation of what fees you are paying for on every investment you make. And if you work with a qualified professional license to sell investment products, know how much you're paying in investment advisory fees for those services and discuss their performance. Buy assets that generate income. No investment is foolproof. Whether you invest in stocks, real estate, collectibles, or cash investments, all have up and down markets. It is important to fully understand everything you invest in and focus on assets that will make money over the long haul. Reading widely on the subject of any class of investment you're interested in. Will help you buy low so you can sell higher at a later date. Don't forget to study the tax ramifications of any investment transaction you make. Always know where you are financially. Financial planning isn't about one set of financial decisions and assuming you're set. Lives and situations change, and your financial planning must be flexible enough to withstand both positive and negative changes without derailing your hopes for financial independence. If your forte is not investing, financial planning, or tax matters, by all means, bring in a qualified experts to help. Financially independent people generally have their money issues at their fingertips not only for their own use, but for estate purposes as well. Just remember, brothers, having financial freedom and independence makes all the difference. Just make sure that you don't have any bad habits like gambling. Make sure you get rid of that. That concludes it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Donate to my Patreon for more content. Links will be below inside the description. Videos like these are made possible from donations from viewers like you, and thank you.